Okay, good. We're going to switch over to Rensselaer now. We're talking with Richard Zazycki, and he's the executive director of Circles of Mercy, which is the Sisters of Mercy originated that. But we're going to find out what are they doing. And I wonder how he handled all the taxes this year. Hey, what's going on, Richard?
Ann, it's great to be back.
Yeah,
Thanks
good
for
to
the
see you.
invitation. Good
Yeah.
to see you. Greetings and salutations from the sisters.
Oh, good.
And
I need a lot.
associates, yeah, and the associates and our board of trustees and all the volunteers that make things happen.
What'd you
at
do with
Circles.
taxes this year?
Well, taxes we did amazingly well. It was a
Because I know you head up the whole,
well, I used to.
kind of the
Yeah,
kit and
I
caboodle.
used to. I gave that up. We've got 3 partners. Your dear friend Joanne passed on.
Yeah, I love Joanne.
Joanne does our mobile outreach. We have a partner in Troy, Colleen Goldston, who's
Okay.
a police officer up in
Well,
Troy.
she's new, though. I don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
that name.
she's been there. She runs the Troy VITA program,
Okay.
and then we have us down in Rensselaer.
Well, I mean, we'll catch up next year because
Yeah.
this past year was a little different.
Yeah, so we got a grant through the Prosperity Now Partnership out of Washington. We did a special outreach to the disabled community. So we did, combined through the 3 partners, we did almost 700 returns, which is pretty respectable.
Well, considering
Yeah,
this,
given the fact that it was all virtual,
everything's virtual.
okay, which meant that people called, we arranged a time for them to stop by, to drop off their tax documentation
And leave.
and leave. Then I would have to find a volunteer to do the return, so that got passed on. And then from that volunteer, they passed it on to someone else to do the quality review. Once the quality review was done, it then came back to me, printed off the return, made arrangements with the tax client to come back and review it and sign off. So
Well,
what-
that's different because I was at, I stopped by the one at Union, when the Union
Right.
College did it. And you walked in, you got checked in, you went, they did it, bang, bam, 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 and then it was sent.
Yeah,
That
you were-
within
yeah,
an
45
hour, everything,
minutes,
yeah.
less than an hour. This process, unfortunately, because of
No, you had to
COVID,
transfer.
it took about 2 weeks.
I believe
Yeah,
that.
so we did respectively
For
well.
700 is a lot.
Oh, yeah, and we're talking about combined tax refunds and credits of over $1 million. So that's,
Money coming back.
back to the community. People pay their bills with it. Hopefully, they save some. So, I mean, that was our contribution during COVID with regards to the tax program.
Right.
We try to stay, current with what the needs were in the community. As you know, our mission, we have a tradition of providing hope, hospitality, and empowerment.
I think you brought some,
Yeah,
yeah,
to
you
the-
got that
to
up
the-
there
to the
now.
Rensselaer
Good.
community.
Thank you, Jan.
Yeah, we got a 23-year history. We incorporate the Mercy Charism, preferential option of the poor, life of generous service, concern for women and children, hospitality, justice, compassion, trusting in the providence of God, which I sometimes have trouble with. And then the critical concerns that the sisters have with regards to the earth, immigration, nonviolence, racism, and women.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we've seen more of that in the
Oh, sure.
past few years,
And
that,
then-
that it's come out, I mean, it may have always been there, but it's raised its ugly face.
Oh, sure, and it's been unfortunate, and I think things got exacerbated during the shutdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the pandemic. So what we try to do is provide those linkages to services. Even though we couldn't do the face-to-face, we tried to do all of our various programs through a curbside access.
Oh, okay.
I told you about the virtual VITA tax program. If somebody needed clothing out of the thrift store, they called, emailed, faxed, whatever, hit us on Facebook, and then,
You handle that.
We'd handle that.
It's the safest way possible.
Yes, we would have our volunteers pull the items out of the thrift store and then leave them on the front porch for the clients to pick up. We still did the clothing grants. We still did layette sets.
How'd you do computer training? You couldn't
Well,
do
we
that very
didn't.
easily.
Yeah,
you
that
couldn't
was
do
kind of on
I know
hold.
that you do that, but you couldn't do
That
it.
was kind of on hold. There were virtual programs that were made available, so we would plug people into those kind of programs. And then we're going to start picking that up this summer by providing the face-to-face, one-on-one computer training.
Are you looking for volunteers?
Always. As an executive director of a nonprofit, one of my primary jobs is volunteer recruitment and retention. So we're always looking for volunteers.
Retention is a big thing.
And that is. So it's always that sharing of your time and talent and treasure. We have volunteers in the thrift store. We're looking for volunteers all the time to help with tax returns, mentors for our women clients. The other thing I want to talk to you today about is the fact that we've been unable for last year and this year to do our fundraising events.
Because you have done fundraising in the past.
Always. We do about 3 events a year. We do a signature event this time of the year, June. We do a Walk for Mercy in the spring. And then we do a Irish Night celebration in October.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
That's a lot of fun. So what we're doing this year is we've done a solicitation mailing out to all
That's what
of our-
everybody's been doing,
yeah,
you
all
know.
of our
Please help
donors.
us, one
Yeah,
of those.
Please help us. Please take time to visit the website if you're not on our mailing list. We've also have a secure PayPal link for donations, or mail those checks to us at the office. It's always a challenge. Not only
Everybody's challenged with this, especially with the pandemic, although I found, talking to a number of groups, that people have been very generous.
remarkably and shockingly,
Yeah,
where I thought, here's a letter that we did last year that, did quite well and helped sustain us, as did the support that we received, the generous support from the Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah.
So it's something that we always are thankful for. Again, if anybody is interested in any of those items, they can visit the website, circlesofmercy.org. They can drop me an email, same as the name of the organization, Circles of Mercy at NICAP.rr.com, or pick up the phone and give Uncle Richard a call,
Uncle Richard.
518-462-0899.
Now, if someone wants to donate clothing sometimes, your kids get bigger and they got these clothes there, and you go, well, I'll just dump them in one of these dumpsters, or not dumpsters, but, those
Yeah.
boxes that they do. Would it be better kind of to drop it off personally to a place that is going to get recycled and not just boxed up and sent to some foreign land?
Believe it or not, all through the shutdown and the pandemic, we continuously received calls from donors that wanted to drop off clothing. So we encourage that, as long as it's gently used and clean.
Yeah, you don't want,
Yeah, as long as it's gently used and clean. We had a schedule, and they would just ring the doorbell, drop off the bag, hi, thank you, and move on their way, and then we would take care of processing the donation. So that's always the best thing to do. You don't want to see that stuff get caught up in the landfill. And I'm not...
I read recently that clothing is one of the biggest issues in landfills. That we have created, the fashion industry has created more trash.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you can redo, recycle, donate, always think about when you have an item like that, can someone else use it? If it's trash, I guess cut it up and use it as a rag in your
Yeah,
own home.
you could do
Don't
that.
use those paper towels.
Yeah, what we do is we have a process where it's donated and it gets shredded and then reprocessed into insulation.
Oh, okay, so it's
Okay.
being used,
So, yeah.
not
it's-
into the landfill.
no,
So it's better to
in-
donate.
the insulation is used in RVs, vehicles. I'm trying to think of what else it's used in. RVs, vehicles, I lost it.
Well, probably anything that needs
Yeah,
filling,
yeah,
filled. And maybe things like, making cushions that aren't going to be used for any, personal use
So
or something
yes,
like
we always encourage the donation of clothing.
Absolutely. And you were mentioning you had the thing on, you did pretty well on the VITA program.
Yes, we did surprisingly well, given the challenges of the pandemic. You know, I think doing returns in the number of just about 700 is respectable.
Well, considering it takes 2 weeks to do one, I think that, I mean, it's not linear,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's
And one of the smaller numbers I didn't mention to you, but down there are the total number of volunteers that helped us this year were 38, and they donated almost 2,800 hours of volunteer time.
38 people,
2,800 hours,
Wow.
yeah.
And that's free.
Free and sitting there, plugging in those numbers to the software, and then
Yeah.
Getting the
Well,
returns
I mean,
done.
it just shows that there are dedicated people out there. There are good people in our community. There really are, whether they donate their time to Circles of Mercy or to the Animal Protective Foundation or to theater or wherever.
Right.
People, if you're sitting home and saying, oh, there's nothing to do and blah, 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 and blah, there's a lot of places that you can enrich your life.
right, give us a call.
By donating your time. You really enrich your life. I mean, I've done this show 23 years. I'm donating my time to do this show. I don't get paid for this. But it enriches my life because I meet people who I see are doing much more than I'm doing, and they're making our community a better community.
But the part that helps us in is the fact that you allow us the
Platform.
the connection to make to the community, to tell them about our needs and our desires and our programs and services. That's what's important. And as a nonprofit director, this is such a valuable, no-cost
Yeah.
public relations operation to be able to take advantage of.
And I thank Proctor's for that because they've
Yes.
been very good about that.